Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Bashem Kadash. Double unto the apostles and elders, great millstone, and rule well. And shalom to all the brothers. Doing the work sincerity and truth. Pushing the word to the four corners, man. Yeah, alright. Yeah, got this article on The Guardian. And it's funny because it's really showing that whole Internet of Things that's been developed. Like, really, it's been like started off the main, I think, like jump point for it has been like the smart TVs, but then like they've done the doorbells. They have like I think it's called Nest, where it's like it handles like your heating and various other things and lights and whatnot, which you can control like over the internet. And yeah, like security as well. All these different things that have been what do you call it? That have been like slowly synced up with like put online, connected to the internet, and it's like all becoming part of these systems where it's just like everything's connected to the internet and it's all can all link together. Now you're seeing Amazon, which I think have bought up a lot of companies that have been pushing these things out. Yeah, they're basically just gonna do one of those things. It's sneaky because the same thing with like what they did with like WhatsApp, where they did like the privacy changes to where they made it. I think they made it so it's like you can get added to groups just by completely random people and switch that on by default. And then what is it? Other ones as well. Well, it's essentially just with like having everything being online because the main kind of push has just been like with people like reporting on like where they are, what they're doing, all these different things, people being trackable and traceable, by various means online. And that's really been the push. That's why you've had like Facebook kind of check-ins. You even when you take like my phone that I got now, when you take, I think even from like the last 2-3 phones I've had, when you take pictures, you can have it set to where it will save the location data of where you've taken the picture, so it'll be saved in the like the file of the picture. It'll save like the time, the date, and the location of where you took it. So you could just be uploading it, and then it would just be like, and it's you can do that when like certain pictures if you upload it to Instagram, then it will just like start slotting in like the details of where you took it, the time, stuff, if an event was happening and stuff like that. So all these things that are becoming like LinkedIn, and it's like people would think, okay, if you just it will be the convenience of just posting shit online. Like that's what the convenience of just posting shit online. That's what people would be thinking about, but then they're not realizing it's basically creating like a history, because it's just like with your web search history on Google, on YouTube, your watch history, all these different things. Your like on Instagram, what you've liked, your history of all these things. It's these things are used for like profiling of like people and predicting what they're gonna do. That's why you had the whole fuss a few years back about like Facebook selling a lot of info to like Cambridge Analytica and whatnot. But these things go down. These things are like, that's why the algorithms exist. Like the algorithms are basically built off, building a profile around like people, and these are things that are used by Esau for like control, and for him to be able to measure like, okay, what's the feeling towards X, Y, and Z, and how's he gonna push certain things out. So it says, well, Amazon customers have 1 week to opt out of a plan that will turn every Echo speaker. Yeah, that's the home device as well. So like Google Home, Alexa, like I said, Echo speakers. I don't even know if Apple like Siri as well. They had these things like on always listening as well on your phone. So it's like you just like you using your phone, you say okay Google, and then like Google will just pop up and start like, yeah, if you don't turn it off, like most new phones from when they like started it, if you didn't turn it off, then it would just be like, okay, any point you can be like, your phone's not even in your hand, it could be in your pocket or something, and you say, okay Google, what's blah 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 blah, and then it will give you the reply, or Siri, say hey Siri, or whatever. So these things mean it's always listening. And the same with like the Samsung smart TVs. They said like they're always listening and recording and like sending the info. So it's all about, you know, control and creating profiles of people, how to understand and control them, because that's the main thing that these elites are about. These elites are about keeping people in line and having them under control, which is what, and that's what you see happen throughout the lockdown, man. It's certain things that it's like they dangled, you know, a certain level of freedom. They'll say like, oh, okay, look, all kinds of different back and forths between things, and then see how people respond and how, you know, if they push certain things out, how it will run, and it's ultimately about what, getting everyone chipped, because they've you know, they pushed out the max, and it's you know, it's having an uptake. So now it's about the vaccine passports, the certificates, and they already threw out the mark. They threw the chip out there a while back, and it's just there, and they mainly did it from like the military angle. But then all these things, you know, it goes to the military, it gets down to the civilian level later on. So, you know, wait and see. It's being pushed. So this is what so we'll turn every Echo speaker and Ring security camera in the US into a shared wireless network as part of the company's plan to fix connection problems for smart home devices. And these are things like basically having like Wi-Fi, like even on your phone, like with the Find My iPhone or Find My Mobile, I think is a Samsung one. Like they already use like if you have your Wi-Fi turned on, well, I think they can even make it so the Wi-Fi can be turned on like remotely, because what do you call it? Like they have, essentially it will be your phone like will send out a signal to like every nearby wireless device. So people's routers from home, you know, any public Wi-Fi network, all these different things, which is how like the Find My iPhone stuff works. It will it will always ping like just like in a black box of the phone. It will be pinging like just to see like if the phone's being looked for. Like, you know, if the phone's being looked for, and then yeah, if the phone's being looked for, and then it will depending on like, if you go on to Find My service and say, okay, shut my phone down, as soon as it connects to like one of those networks, even if it's off, then it will activate and be like, okay, now you can't access. Now the phone's thingy until now you need to put in certain details or whatever to unlock it, or now you need to bring it to the store. Like they have those networks which are based off like are built just off like people's like home, like you obviously have your router at home, you have your home network, but then those big like web networks built off a bunch of different people's networks, those already exist, you know, for certain features. But this is obviously just Amazon doing it in a different kind of way, because what does it say? Yeah, connect to so it says the proposal called Amazon Sidewalk involves a company's devices being used as a springboard to build citywide mesh networks that help simplify the process of setting up new devices. And it's always convenience. It's always about, oh, okay, you know, for that convenience. But then it's you know, that's how control is done, because that's why it's like they'll be able to track people like where they're going. That's something that was suggested. I don't know if it was instated in the state of Israel. They're saying for like, okay, people that like, I think if they've not got a vaccine, if they ain't got a vaccine, then it'll, what do you call it? Yeah, if they ain't got the vaccine, then they'll have to get like labels that kind of track where they are. And this is something like they already have with what the fuck are they called? Like bracelets, the ankle bracelet things, and like home arrest and these kinds of things. They was it home arrest or home? I can't remember when you're basically I think house arrest. House arrest. I think it's called house arrest. You know, they already have like where they can track like where you are based on devices. So this you know, these are the things that you know, you watch films like what the fuck is it called, Minority Report. That's when it just gets taken, it's been taken to that full extreme where they have every camera can just like touch your face, touch your eyes, and recognize, okay, bang bang bang. And obviously then the chip, that's where the mark comes in, because people have that chip inside, then all that information goes through that. And these are the things, this is what the elites, you know, their desire is, man. Get everyone chipped, and then they have that ultimate total control over them. So extend the range, okay. Mesh networks, blah, blah, blah. Keep them online, yeah. Process center, keep them online even if they're out of range of home Wi-Fi. Yeah, so that shows like it's the Wi-Fi. It's you know, that's where the 5G comes in as well, because that fills in a lot of the gaps. And it says what, and extend the range of tracking devices such as those made by Tile. But Sidewalkers come under fire for the apparent lack of transparency, which Amazon has rolled out. No, with which Amazon has rolled out the feature, as well as a limited time available for users to complete the tricky process required to opt out. Other critics have expressed concerns that failing to turn the setting off could leave customers in breach of their ISP's terms and conditions. Amazon Sidewalk is a shared network that helps devices work better, the company said in the Q&A document for users. In the future, Sidewalk will support a range of experiences using Sidewalk-enabled devices, such as smart security, lighting, and diagnosis for appliances and tools. So yeah, it's actually mad. Like, just be, just like, yeah, fucking, man will be doing all sorts, and you wouldn't even know. And it's like they say, they'll kind of throw these things in and not really mention anything, and just say, oh yeah, it's gonna be this, that's convenient, blah blah blah. But then you don't know the greater depths of what's really going down. So it says what the feature works by creating a low bandwidth network using smart home devices such as Amazon Echoes and Ring security cameras. And the thing is as well is, shit. Okay. Is the thing is as well is like these capabilities were already in the devices as well. So that means that this thing was essentially something that was there. It was able to be activated at any point. And that's the thing with like, as far as with Esau, when he pushes certain things out, there'll be things behind the scene, things underneath that aren't you know. Salak. Yeah, but that's, you know, things behind the scene, things that aren't being seen, which what do you call it? That you know, that's the real you know, the real use, the real gain that was being looked at from instituting these things. Because yeah, it's, you know, what it comes down to. Ezekiel 28:2, it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as a heart of God. Yeah, so that's the thing with Esau. It's like he's essentially trying to be like Yahweh Hashem Yahushai on the earth. He's trying to be an ultimate power, where just like how Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is his angels out observing, do it, you know, doing certain operations. Esau's trying to achieve these things through different means, man. He's trying to utilize technology that's getting that mark in people, so he can, you know, have them traceable and basically under his thumb at all times. And he's utilizing his military technology to try and, you know, what you call it, exercise power over the earth. And he's trying to gain that ultimate power, man, and trying to subvert his judgment, his destiny, which is, you know, going into slavery and then being put in pits and burnt up and destroyed. But hey, that's the thing is these words are set. Just like Esau pushing out the mark, those things are set. Then it's his judgment as well. It's set. Like his judgment is not going to be subverted. So it's down to him. It's down to him. So like he's, you know, he ain't whatever he's trying to attain, is he's still bound within the realms of the judgment, man. Like whatever you know, Esau's able to attain and achieve, it's been set by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in the first place. Because it says what, when he's about to fill his belly, then I'll rain the wrath of my fury upon him. So it's not going to be that Esau's not going to have no opportunity to fill his belly whatsoever. He's going to get in certain elements. The mark's going to get in, you know, certain parts of his plan are going to be executed on, but the fullness isn't going to come. He said, but behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom, with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yeah. You know, he's wiser than Daniel. There's no secret can be hid. He's gone into the scriptures. He knows certain things are going to go down. That's why he's trying his utmost to try and subvert it. But what these things, you know, all that he's gained, all the riches, all the control, all the power that he's gained, it's like, okay, like, but how far is that going to run? It says, therefore, thus saith the Most High power, because thou hast set that, well, even you attaining that, does that really make you like the Most High? No. You're a pale imitation, man, a failure, a reject, man. It says, behold, therefore thus saith the Most High power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Yeah. So all that so-called greatness, so-called wisdom, the Lord's gonna have everyone's gonna flip on America. Everyone's gonna turn on Esau, man. They're gonna be like, yo, is this the man? Like that. Well, that's after they're gonna be like, yo, you know, this guy he's been doing the most, man. This guy has been oppressing around, raping, robbing, destroying the whole earth. Like they're just like, nah, this done. And the spirit's gonna be taken off, where, you know, everyone's gonna be, you know, in terror of Esau. They're just gonna be like, yo, fuck this guy. Shoot missiles on America. They ain't gonna be looking to deal with him, man. That's, and all, you know, all these plans that he's pushing out, you know, that trying to get that ultimate and total control and track and have people completely destroyed and under his thumb. You know, these things are why people are gonna be like, fuck this dude, man. But yeah, I'll leave you there. Shalom. Yeah, Shalom. God bless. Shalom.